I used to believe marriage was built on forgiveness. Sarah would always remind me, nobody's perfect. Ethan, love is about choosing each other over and over. And I believed her every single time. I trusted every word she spoke, even after her eyes stopped agreeing with her voice. It started subtly, late nights at work. Her phone always flipped face down, laughter that somehow stopped including me. I convinced myself she was just exhausted, that I was reading too much into it. Love has a cruel way of making you question yourself before you ever question them. Then one Friday, she came home wearing the perfume I'd given her on our anniversary. But it smelled different, stronger, fresher, like it wasn't meant for me this time. She was humming softly, a little buzzed, lipstick slightly smudged. When I teased her about her night out, she gave a sly smile and said, "Just drinks with co-workers. You worry too much." Something about her tone felt rehearsed. I laughed along, but inside, my chest tightened with a quiet panic I couldn't shake. The next morning, while I was making coffee, her phone buzzed on the counter. A message lit up before the screen went dark. Last night was worth every risk. My hand froze mid-pour. The sound of dripping coffee suddenly felt deafening in the stillness. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She just sighed, irritated, and said, "Ethan, it was one night. Harmless." It didn't mean anything. That word, harmless, hit like a hammer. I stared at her, this woman I'd built my life around, and she laughed. "You're acting like I killed someone," she scoffed, rolling her eyes. In that moment, something in me went silent. No rage, no tears, just stillness, the kind that rewrites everything. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I simply said, "You're right. Maybe I am overreacting." That night, I lay beside her for the last time, pretending things were fine. I kissed her forehead before switching off the light. She smiled, thinking everything was okay again. The next morning, instead of heading to work, I went to the bank. I'd always managed our accounts: bills, mortgage, savings. She never paid attention to the details. By noon, most of our joint savings sat safely in a new account under my name. All legal, all clean. Over the next few days, I played the part, cooked dinner, made small talk, even got her laughing again. She thought the storm had passed. I let her believe it. A week later, on Friday, I left work early, picked up her favorite flowers, and texted, "Let's have dinner tonight." Her reply came fast. "Finally, I knew you'd get over it." That evening, the table was set with candles. She smiled easily, chatting about weekend plans. I poured her wine and listened. Same as always. She didn't know I'd spoken with a lawyer that morning or that the paperwork was already filed. Halfway through dinner, I slid an envelope across the table. She frowned. "What's this?" "Just something harmless," I said. Inside were copies of her messages, photos, and proof of the financial transfers. Every dollar she thought we still shared was now out of reach. Her face drained of color. "Ethan, what is this? You said it was just one night." I nodded calmly. "And I'm treating it the same way. One choice. Harmless. And now it's over." Tears filled her eyes. "Please, we can fix this," she begged. But I didn't feel anger anymore, only peace. "You laughed," I said quietly. "Do you still think it's harmless?" She didn't answer. Her hands trembled over the papers. I stood, looked at her one last time, and walked out. No shouting, no slammed doors, just silence. The silence behind me was louder than any goodbye. That weekend, she called nonstop, dozens of missed calls, endless messages. I ignored them all. Her final text read, "Please, Ethan, I made a mistake." But some mistakes change everything. 3 weeks later, a friend mentioned she'd moved in with her sister. I didn't feel triumph, just relief. That's when I realized something. Revenge isn't about making them hurt. It's about reclaiming your peace. Months passed. I started running again, picked up photography, even traveled solo. Freedom stopped feeling like revenge. It started to feel like clarity. One evening, I stood on a quiet beach in Oregon, watching the sun melt into the horizon. My phone buzzed. A message from Sarah. I miss you. I ruined everything. I started to type a reply, then deleted it. Some stories don't need an ending. They just need silence. I turned off my phone and watched the waves roll in. Soft, endless, like love once was. Beautiful until it broke. That's when I finally understood. Betrayal doesn't destroy you. It reveals who they truly are and who you're meant to become without them. Maybe that's not revenge. Maybe that's redemption.